They call him Sitin, the man of legends.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Rift for Beginners episode 3. In this video I'm going to be talking about settings and how I like to have my settings and how various settings will affect stuff in the game and how it can pretty much change a lot of the way sort of you interpret combat, etc. So you can access settings by going to the big sort of system box, which hopefully should be a green monitor in the left hand corner of your screen, and then just click on settings and it brings up this actually I just closed it again. It brings up this lovely window, and then you can change various stuff. Well, the first thing is audio, so if you want to turn the music down and the volume up for certain things, you can do that. Personally, what I've done is I've actually hopped over to the NA shards for this video, so this should all be the sort of default settings mainly that's currently on, and not my personal favorite. So what I usually like to do is, depending on my mood, sometimes I just want voiceover volume, sometimes I want a bit of music, sometimes I want spells and abilities. I actually often turn off spells and abilities actually, or keep it at very low, because I don't like the constant sound of clunking weapons pretty much 24/7, so that's not really my thing. So the main thing that I want to talk about here is sort of interface and also combat settings, really. So I'll just go through each category. The first is names. So it's really up to personal preference how many what you show on here. I personally don't like showing friendly player or party or pet names, just because in raids and dungeons I think they really get in the way. That's just my personal opinion, so I like to apply that. For NPC and also enemy names and target names, I like to see all of those, so that's fine. Name colors, I don't really fuck about with this bit much, but basically if you want to change hostile players to pink, you can do that. Feel free to, have a blast with that. So this bit's really about nameplates. Now, just for those of you who don't know what nameplates are, they're basically this little thing that comes up in front of you. You can adjust the scale size of them, and there are various different ones. So if you enjoy this kind of little blue bar above your head, it's default to set in combat. So you'll notice initially whenever you go in combat, it'll pop up. But if you want to get rid of it, and in all honesty, I never really use it, so I just put it on never. Some people enjoy these nameplates, but I don't know, there's something about them that I could just do without, in all honesty. So you've also got ones for the target that you're targeting, any hostile, so you can always show hostile ones, so it shows a little bar above their head, possibly a thing to do if you like that. I believe I actually used that one. That's the only one I use. There's another one for friendly, and you can adjust a few options there. So there is a few other stuff to sort of note. Let's go down into the next tab, which is Misc, and the next one is enable AoE looting. I'd suggest that's definitely the best thing to tick. It just allows you to basically pull large groups of mobs and then loot them all at the same time without having to tab through each one, and that is really good. If you're being a bit of a Grinch or don't like people, automatically decline all guild invitations is an option, so feel free to do that. There's also like click to move, disable auto sheath, and loads of other stuff, which is personal preference really. So nothing really too much on that. So there are a few sort of combat options here. Now, one thing you may want to seriously consider checking or unchecking is PvP auto flag. If it's checked, that means if you accidentally tab somebody who's PvP flagged and accidentally hit them, then they're probably going to turn around and gank you for the next 5 minutes. So it's a good idea to make sure this box is unchecked. Hide other players' hit effects is a good box to tick. That means you don't have so many sort of spell effects going off at a boss, and can also lead to an increase in FPS. So let's have a look. Recast ground channels now. That can be useful in circumstances. Ground channel abilities are where you basically target a certain area and then cast like a firestorm or circle of oblivion or something like that. That can be an option. At the start of the game, you won't need that. Most ground channel abilities you won't get to a higher level, so don't worry about that for now. You also have the option to add additional action bars in, so you can add more at the bottom, up to 7, so you can see they quickly pile up. You can also choose to hide them just by showing that, but you can still drag and drop abilities on them if they're there, so you can feel free to have basically lay out the UI as you please. But layout of the UI I'm going to go into in a separate video, because that's quite complicated. I have mine a lot different to this, and I'll show you how to do that sometime. So this is also something interface status text, or status text. Something I like to have on is player. It basically, instead of the little green bar at the top, just seeing a green bar, it tells you the exact numbers, the exact number of health you have, the exact number of mana you have, so maybe you can manage stuff a bit better. It's a good box to tick, whenever you're thinking of, oh, can I withstand this AoE or should I run out? You can say, oh look, I have a certain amount of health, I can take this and heal up in no time, so you can do that. So I like to turn all of these on really, because I'm a numbers person. I just love all that kind of stuff, and not display percentages, because I don't like that. Anyway, so then you've got the mouse, which you can adjust the look speed, which is the speed that you sort of look around at. So anything above 2 is a bit too fast, in all honesty, for myself. I think 2 is just the best thing to do. And finally, I'm just going to go on to screen messages, the last thing I'm going to talk about in this video, and just show you sort of the difference quickly. So as you'll notice, when I'm initially attacking this mob, numbers are coming up fairly slowly. It's sort of like 30, 30, but the numbers are still lingering on the screen. I like to have it only on the screen for about 1.5 seconds, and I also like to show the ability icons. So I think this greatly improves the gameplay experience for me, just due to the fact it makes everything seem a lot more fast-paced, because numbers are quickly flying up, and when you get a lot more abilities, I just find it a bit more fun than having just loads of numbers constantly on the screen in a big stack. But once again, that's my personal preference. Anyways, that is my sort of insight into settings and how they work. There are also various video settings to play about with. I hope you've learned a bit from this video about what stuff you can change around, etc., and how to do so. If you have any questions about them, feel free to comment in the comments below, and I'll do what I can to answer them. Once again, thank you for watching, and take care.